Good morning, you guys. I know it's not that early, but getting back from this trip and then getting up this morning made it feel this early. So I wanted to hop on here really quickly. I just feel like this needs to be shared. I was reading this morning in my Bible and I was just like loving it, and I was like, I want to talk about this today. And then I had a sideline message me who's wanting to promote, and she's got this goal and this timeline, and she's like, what do I got to do to get there? And so I was talking to her, and all of it was just lining up, and I was like, you know what? My daughter's still asleep, praying she stays asleep until I can finish this. So no better time than the present, right? Let's hop on and let's chat. So say hello or good morning if you guys are joining. Of course, hashtag replay if you catch up later on. So this morning I was reading in James. Let me just show you guys. James is my favorite book of the Bible. I've read it 7 billion times. It looks like this in here, okay? It's chaos, and I love it. So I was reading in James, and my favorite part of James is the second chapter. In the second chapter of James, it's all focused on faith without works is dead, which is so much of what I preach. Like, we can't just pray for miracles. We have to put legs to our prayers. We have to get out there and get to work and invite God to bless that and be in that. And that's typically my favorite point. I love the beginning of like the first chapter and then that. But once we hit the third chapter of James, I typically like almost check out. It's not as interesting to me. It's not as, highlighted or noted up. Like, it doesn't speak to me as much. And this morning, the third chapter of James is what was getting me. And so I wanted to share some about personal development and use this with that. I was just talking to, like I said, I had a girl who wants to push for this big goal in a matter of 2 months. Yes, I had to check my math. But she wants to push for this big goal, and she's like, I've got 2 months to do it. What do I need to do? And I have such a love-hate relationship with this question, because I know, you guys, when you're asking me what to do for a promotion, I know what you're looking for. Okay, I've been in that spot. Like, I, to this day, ask people, like, what do I need to do to get this happen? And the answer I give you is never the one that you want, but it's oftentimes the one that you need and the one that you are missing anyway. And so when it comes to pushing for a promotion, the first thing we got to do is we got to get to work. We spend too long trying to focus on figuring out what to do and not just doing. Because when I joined this business, I promoted so quickly. I went ruby in 30 days. I went diamond 2 months, or emerald 2 months later, diamond 2 months after that, and then double diamond 2 months after that. Within 8 months, I was making over $9,000 a month. And I can guarantee you, I did that without ever wondering how to do that. Well, not wondering, but not taking the time to figure it out. Because the thing is we don't know the how. We can't control the how, but we can control what we show up and do every day. And so the first step when you're pushing for a promotion is you just got to get to it. It's called ignorance on fire. That's what momentum loves. Momentum loves fire. Success loves momentum, and it starts creating this chain reaction of just failing forward. I can guarantee you, no one in this business has promoted perfectly. No one is like, well, I did X, Y, Z. This is how I promoted. No, it's a lot of chaos, a lot of feeling like we're not doing things right, we're not doing enough, that it's never going to come together, but just being willing to do anyway. And you just do and screw up and do and screw up and do and screw up, and then you promote, and it all happens together. And the biggest thing when you're doing a push, when you're so focused on work, the first thing that we let go of is personal development and taking that time to pour into ourselves. Because I'm sitting here reading my Bible, I'm not getting a notification that someone enrolled. Where if I'm talking to customers, I'm getting that, feeling that part of my soul that says I'm working my business. And when I'm sitting here reading my Bible and I'm praying and I'm doing my personal development, or I'm reading in a growth book, I'm not getting that same reward. So that's the first thing we let go, is because we only have so much time, right? We have this timeline. We're pushing for these bonuses. We have till March. And so I've got to use every waking moment to work my business. I don't have time to pour into myself too. I got to pick my priorities, right? But that is such a backwards thinking, because the personal development and the taking time to sit in God's word, or your personal development book, or whatever that is, that's the thing to get you to the end, because it's not going to be an easy ride. You're not going to wake up and then everything fall into place. It's going to feel like it's impossible every step of the way. It's going to feel daunting. It's going to feel overwhelming. It's going to feel like a task that is too big for you. And if you show up as you are today, it's going to stay that way. We have to evolve with our goals. We have to be showing up and becoming better people and better versions of ourselves. We're more equipped to handle the devils at the different levels, that are more equipped to handle the no's and the rejection and the doubts and the fears and the failing forwards that get us to that goal in our timeline. And so we have to be almost more diligent in our personal development and in our time with God than before, when we are trying to be so intentional about our workload and getting these goals done. And so I wanted to talk about, let's see, so James chapter 3, it's all about, the first section is all about controlling the tongue. And I think this is so important. So important, okay? Because guys, life and death come from the tongue. And you have to grasp this. You've got to grasp this, not just for your business, you guys, but for life, okay? The things that you say are more important sometimes than the things that you do. Yes, you got to have the action to back it up, okay? Don't get me wrong. You cannot talk your way into a promotion. But you also can 100% talk yourself out of a promotion, okay? You have to take charge and take control of your mouth, of your thoughts. And guys, we are innately designed to be negative. We're innately designed to be flawed, to be negative, to see the bad in the world. That's how our brains are created and work around here, okay? But we have the power to take control of the tongue. We have the power to take control of the things that we are putting out there. Because yes, it's hard. It's scary. You're not getting the enrollments today. Like XYZ, those thoughts that you're feeling, those doubts, those insecurities, those fears, we all feel them. Every single person in this business that has ever promoted, every leader you saw at stage this weekend, every person in the business you look up to, they have those same thoughts and fears and insecurities. But the difference is they have the control of the power of the tongue, where they do not speak that over their life and their business. It doesn't matter. You guys want to know a fun fact? I did not sign a single customer this month until like 5 days ago, okay? I've signed almost 10 customers now in the last like 5 days, but before that I did not sign a single customer, and I was working for it, okay? I was working for it. I was doing 10 to 20 host posts every single day. I was doing follow-ups. I was doing all the things, and I wasn't seeing the enrollments. I wasn't signing customers. So I know how you feel. I've got goals too. I want to see you guys succeed. I want to hit my goals, and I know that for us to get there, we have to have the enrollments, and they weren't happening. They weren't coming from anywhere, and it wasn't just me. My entire E-suite, a lot of my girls on my team, we weren't enrolling, okay? So I know how that feels to be like, well, dang, it's not working for me. But you never heard me say, it's not working. That's not working. I can't sign customers. I can't get the comments. XYZ. My team isn't signing customers. That's not something I ever said, because the thing is if I sit here today and I say I can't sign customers, my team can't sign customers, we're not growing, our volume's not changing, then no matter what we do, I am prophesying over our team and my personal business for us to stay stuck in this cycle. Instead, I'm showing up every single morning, and I am deciding to take charge of my day, to take the power of the tongue into my own hands, and I am deciding to do the opposite. I'm deciding to show up and say, today, I'm a mass enroller. I can't believe how many customers my team is signing. Our volume is jumping by hundreds at a time, and that's how I start talking over my business and over you guys. And guess what? We had 3 weeks, almost 2 weeks of no enrollments. But this past weekend, our volume has been jumping by hundreds a day. We have new customers, new distributors, API orders. We have things coming from everywhere. And I can guarantee you that if we stay in the place of it's not working, it will not work. But when we can start shifting the way that we perceive things, the way that we look at them, the power of saying that things are different, we start calling that out. We start calling out the promises and the growth and the right people into our paths. But sitting there saying it's not working will never make it work. This says that when we put in James chapter 3, verse 3, when we put bits into the mouths of horses, we make them obey us. We can turn the whole animal. That's how powerful your tongue is. Just putting a bit, you guys know how big horses are, right? A small metal bit, it's like this long, okay? And like this wide, this like circumference. That's it. That little piece of metal can control the entire animal. That's how important the mouth is. That your mouth can control your entire business. It can control your entire life. It can control the way you parent. It can control your marriage. It can control everything about you. If you want to see a drastically new life this year, it has to start by learning to control your mouth. Learning to grab the thought and being like, hold up, Jesus, no, I'm not doing that today. It's so easy for us to fall into this negative self-talk, into these doubting words. That's what's natural. But just because it's natural and easy doesn't mean it has to be the road that we take. I want to challenge you today to start showing up different. If we wanted the same thing as everybody else, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be in this business. We wouldn't be trying to hustle and fight to create something different for our family. If you want that different, honey, it's got to start with you. It's got to start with getting control of that negativity in your life and starting to transform into something different. It's as simple as when you say the negative stuff, like, y'all, I'm visual, I'm a little quirky. When I went through this before, I learned a lot about this. I went through counseling before, and I would grab my thought when it would come out. I would say it, and I was like, whoop. And then I would say the positive instead. People thought I was crazy, and I don't care. Because after years of doing this, I hardly have to grab a thought in front of people. But just doing something as silly as that, I mean, you've seen people with like rare rubber bands. Pop a rubber band when you have the negative thought, and then say another one. Start doing something to bring to your attention, because I promise when you start identifying it, you'll start seeing it everywhere, and then you'll stop seeing it. Once you identify the fact that this negativity is coming out of you, all of a sudden you're like, holy crap, and it starts changing. You start changing it, and it starts becoming so much simpler. It goes on to say in verse 5, the tongue is a small part of the body, but it makes great boasts. Consider what a great forest is set on fire by just a small spark. The tongue also is a fire, a world of evil among the parts of the body. It corrupts the whole body and sets the whole course of one's life on fire, and it itself is set on fire by hell. No human being can tame the tongue. It's a restless evil, okay? So this means that this is not something that you do today. You don't show up today, take power of your tongue, start talking positivity, and then you've conquered it and you go on with your life. Honey boo, this is something that we've got to do every moment of every day. We've got to start showing up and choosing God, choosing positivity, choosing to be light in each moment. It's a life commitment now. But I can promise you, if you can commit to taking control of your tongue, if you can commit to deciding that what comes out of your mouth is only going to speak life for you and those around you, you will not only change your business, you will not only promote, you will not only see a difference in your marriage and your kids and your life. Honey, you're going to go out and you are going to transform the world, because you're going to be walking with a different light. You're going to be walking in a way that people are looking, wanting what you have, simply because you decided to do the hard things every moment of the day, to show up and choose positivity, choose to speak and live through light and love instead of what the world provides. My favorite analogy when it comes to personal development, and it ties into this with having to be doing it constantly. You can't conquer your brain. It's not personal development. It's not a one-time thing. It's a life commitment. And so, if you guys know NASCAR, this is such an easy analogy. So if you don't know NASCAR, I'm sure you can grasp the concept. The cars go voo, 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 and then one wins. So NASCAR. A NASCAR can get on the track and drive 200 laps. That's how long a race is, 200 laps. A NASCAR can go 200 laps without stopping and not break. Like, it can do that. Just like you can go through your day with doing personal development in the morning. NASCAR gets its fuel, it starts going. But a NASCAR, when it does take a pit stop, when it does get refueled, when it does get new tires, it goes further, faster. If I was to take two cars, guys, one NASCAR and I'm like, go run, do your 200 laps. The second NASCAR, I'm like, take breaks, refuel. The car that stops running the race to get refueled is going to be the winner. Why are we showing up doing personal development for 10 minutes in the morning, not understanding why we are so exhausted as we run our race each day? This life requires us to take pit stops, to get refueled as we go. And guys, I'm not telling, like, take your time in the morning, sit down with your coffee, have time with Jesus, read the book. You don't have to do this all day long. We're busy moms. We have jobs. We work this business. We take care of homes. But who's to say you don't have enough time for 3 deep breaths? It takes a couple of seconds to just take a second and breathe deep. Let go of whatever the doubt, the insecurity, the fear that you're feeling in that moment that has crept back in. 3 deep breaths. You got time to listen to a 3-minute worship song, to just sing your little heart out for a minute, to put on an audiobook in the background or a podcast, or read some more if you have time. But when we are doing and we're pushing and we're trying to do something amazing, these promotions and these bonuses are amazing. When you're trying to do something, the enemy fights his hardest. And in order for you to be equipped to fight that, you've got to first prioritize yourself, pour into yourself, reconnect with God, the source of all of the things, and not just once a day, but invite him into every single moment, reconnect, refuel, take those moments here and there throughout your day. And I promise you are going to see a transformation in your business. You're going to see a transformation in your enrollments. You're going to see a transformation in the comments on your host post. You're going to see a transformation in your family life, in your relationship with your husband, in your relationship with your kids, and those people that pass you on the street. Everything will start shifting for you when you not just connect with the source, but reconnect and refuel as you go in through your day to take control of what is going on in your head, to speak life and love over the whole thing, guys. And I promise, this is you've got to grasp this. This is the thing that's going to get you from where you are today, where you were when you joined, to where you want to go during this period. We've got these crazy bonuses ahead, and it's going to be a hell of a fight, you guys. It's going to be so hard, and it's going to be so dang worth it. You're going to grow so much. There's so much purpose in this process. If you guys haven't watched John's speech, I shared it in the chat yesterday. Go do that. This is the process that we are going to fall in love with. We're going to grow so much during this period. You don't grow on the mountaintops, you grow in the climb up there, and that's what this is, you guys. We are in a 90-day climb. We are pushing for bonuses. Miracles can happen. Your goals and your dreams can happen tenfold. You can shoot past it and go on beyond, but you have to first connect to the source, bring that into your day, take control of your tongue, bring in that positivity, decide and commit to live in that, refuel as you attack your day, as you fail forward with this chaos that's unraveling around us. And I promise you guys, I promise it's going to be so worth it. I'm so excited. I don't even feel like that covers it. Coming out of this weekend, I haven't felt this way about this company and this business in years, and I want you to be a part of it. You're destined to be a part of it. You were called here for a reason. You are 100% where you need to be. Now it's time to stop doubting that, stop wondering about that, and get to work. Love you guys.